Chinese investors are now laying their trust in jade, besides real estate, with prices for the precious stone forecasted to keep climbing in the future. Kitty Chan, a director at the Hong Kong Jewelry and Jade Manufacturers Association, told the Financial Times, from 1990 to 2000, pretty much when you go to the jadeite market, when you resell your piece, usually the best you can do is times 1.5 or times 2 in price. But now if you get like a good piece, the price can go up by times 10. As a stand-in, investors will buy completed jewelry carrying the green stone. Now, Kitty Chan says that purchasers are also setting their eyes on semi-finished pieces, which are often not regarded as investment quality. Jadeite, considered a high-quality jade, is gaining traction over a combination of events. For one thing, supply is running low after Myanmar went through a coup and a subsequent civil war last year. This prompted the US to place sanctions on several Myanmar organizations connected to the military, including its principal licensor and regulator, Myanmar Gems Enterprise. 70 to 90% of the world's high-quality jadeite came from this Southeast Asian nation. Tommy Chan, a Hong Kong business owner, says the production of jadeite is getting less and less. The value of jadeite will definitely go up. Daryl Ho, a senior investment strategist at Singaporean bank DBS, says investors are driven to bearer assets that they can keep without relying on intermediaries like after the Ukraine war. He said when sanctions were slammed on Russia, we saw how people lost half their net worths at the stroke of a pen. For Chinese investors, their homeland's ailing economy is pushing other options out on a limb. China's equity indices are unpromising this year, with the benchmark CSI 300 index for the nation losing more than 15% year to date, while the Hang Seng index for Hong Kong has reduced by 13%. A downfall ensued from the country's loyalty to its zero-COVID policy and the fraying US-China relations. Looking over the real estate industry, prospects are gloomy as well. House prices have dropped for the 10th consecutive month after Beijing began to reign over developer debt and restricted mortgage lending. China's corporate bond market is also vulnerable after the surge of defaults in the sector. Will Wong, a manager at VP Wealth Management, says investors have to consider how to diversify. Many investors will see jade and jadeite as part of their asset allocation.
On Friday, August 5th, mainland China actress Ning Jing shared images on her social media Weibo account. Two of those were images of her in an unusual dress with a pattern looking like iron chains at an award event. She also wore a chain-style necklace. Chinese netizens quickly shared and spread this group of photos. Many believe that the female actress was subtly speaking out for the chained women. The chained women was a horrifying incident in China earlier this year. A woman in Fangxian County, Suzhou, Jiangsu Province, was chained to a wall for over 20 years. During this time, she gave birth to 8 children. The case of the woman's alleged abuse and human trafficking has outraged the Chinese public, even making international headlines. In response, Chinese authorities immediately took a series of actions. First, they rushed to build a fence to seal off the woman's village in the name of COVID measures. They intercepted and arrested those who visited the poor woman to learn more about her case. The authorities later published 5 official investigation reports while at the same time prohibiting official media from posting any alternatives. Beijing also turned the censorship engine to its maximum degree, blocking all accounts and comments involving chained women that differed from the press release. In the case of Chinese actress Ning Jing, netizens have been excitingly discussing this dress. One set of options is that Ning Jing's outfit will indeed remind everyone of the chained woman. When this case settles down, the iron chain dress will objectively give people a subtle reminder. Another view is that many netizens are over-associating. They don't need to put too many elements of politics and justice on the actors these days. Later, some Weibo users created topics with the hashtag actor Ning Jing speaks for Suzhou Iron Chain Woman. However, the topic was quickly censored. Many analysts consider the chained woman the first black swan incident that Beijing has encountered this year. As a result, Chinese and international public opinion paid more attention to this event than the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, which it used to promote its achievements after spending years and tens of billions of dollars. WeChat users Maiji Shun questioned whether the dress choice was just a coincidence or was deliberate. Shun reasoned that the team behind Ning Jing is the top in China, and they will be sure to know the chained woman case and its degree of political sensitivity. Besides, many brokerage companies normally kowtow to Beijing. Therefore, they will not let their artists freely discuss social hotspot topics as it could bring them a lot of trouble. According to the Global Center for Quitting the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, the number of Chinese who have cut their ties to the Chinese Communist Party and its affiliated organizations reached over 400 million on August 3rd. The Global Center for Quitting the CCP, or Tuidang Center, is an organization designated to help Chinese people to quit and denounce the CCP memberships online. It possesses and tracks the CCP withdrawal movement from Chinese people globally. Rong Yi, president of Tuidang Center, praised the 400 million brave Chinese for cutting their ties to the Chinese Communist regime. Chinese businessman Chen Chuanhong from Shandong province officially declared his withdrawal from the CCP. He told the Epoch Times, "In China, I was no different from a worm trampled upon the authoritarian power, not daring to stir a bit. Only when I came to America did I begin to feel like a person, because finally there's no fear from the Communist Party." The movement is known as Tuidang in Chinese, which means quit the party in English. The CCP withdrawal movement began in 2004, sparked by the release of the 9 commentaries of the Communist Party from the Chinese language edition of the Epoch Times. The book details the CCP's history of brutal killing, deception, and multiple crimes against the Chinese people from the time it was established to the present day. About 80 million Chinese people have died of unnatural causes from the CCP's political campaigns since it came into power in 1949 in China. The Great Leap Forward campaign alone resulted in 30 million to 45 million Chinese people dying. The two most recent campaigns are the Tiananmen Square massacre in 1989 and the ongoing persecution of 100 million adherents of the spiritual practice Falun Gong. The CCP keeps 3 organizations designed to cover all different age groups: the Young Pioneers for children aged under 14, the Communist Youth League for those between 14 and 28 years old, and the Communist Party membership. With such categorization, almost all Chinese people from the kindergarten age to the elderly fall into one of the CCP-affiliated organizations. Communist Party membership is a must for those who want to be promoted to higher positions in their career in government agencies or state-owned companies. Jack Ma, Alibaba founder, is also a CCP member. According to the Tuidang Center, there are about 50,000 to 70,000 requests for quitting the CCP per day. Last week in Toronto, Canada, to celebrate the milestone of 400 million withdrawing from the CCP, Chinese Canadians organized a public parade and other activities. Rong Yi said at the event, "The most important mission for mankind is the disintegration of the CCP." She added, "Only by ending the tyranny of the CCP can the Chinese people embrace freedom, peace, and prosperity." U.S. lawmakers also released statements to mark the milestone. Representative Tim Burchett, a member of the Asia Subcommittee of the House Committee of Foreign Affairs, told the Epoch Times in a statement, "The Chinese Communist Party has the blood of tens of millions of Chinese on its hands, so it is no wonder that over 400 million Chinese civilians have left the CCP over the past 2 decades. Burchett continued, "Mao's Great Famine, Tiananmen Square, the persecution of the Falun Gong, and the genocide of Uyghur Muslims are all proof that the CCP only cares about its grip on power. Chinese people would be better served by an open and truly representative government, so I hope the Tuidang movement picks up steam." In a statement to the Epoch Times, the president of the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, Ambassador Andrew Bremberg, sees the Tuidang movement as a model for peaceful protest against the totalitarian regime. He said, "Congratulations to the Tuidang movement for reaching a new milestone. Tuidang is an exemplar of a peaceful civil society movement where activists reach the conscience of their fellow citizen and persuade them to renounce communist ideology and control."
最为突出的特点就体现在零功率悬浮，与现有的电磁悬浮相比，至少可以节省31%的悬浮功耗。
A Chinese mother who mocked her son's teacher for riding a bike to school claimed he would set a bad example. as her son has ridden in a BMW since birth. The mother said if the teacher is too poor to afford a car, it will make her son think study is useless. The incident fueled a public outcry on China's social media. The incident was leaked from a teacher-parent private group chat. Internet users criticized the mother for being too materialistic and rude. It happened in June when the teacher named Wang was riding a bike on the way to work. He encountered his student and his mother. They greeted each other and went on their ways. Later on, when Wang arrived at the school, he found a weird message from the student's mother in the teacher-parent private WeChat group. The message showed that the son's mother recommended that he should buy a car instead of riding a bike to work. Wang explained that he really enjoyed riding a bicycle, and added that his home was not far away from the school. The mother then said that it would be inconvenient for him when it rained. The teacher replied that it would be good to take a walk to school when it rained with an umbrella. At this time, the son's mother told her real intention of convincing the teacher to buy a car. The South China Morning Post translated the conversation as follows. She wrote, "My son has been riding in a BMW since his birth. The people around him all have luxury cars. You are his teacher. You ride a bicycle. What will he think, in your opinion?" The woman went on and said that if he rides a bike to work, her son would think that a teacher can't make money and studying is useless. There are nearly 60 parents in the private group chat. Parents in the group condemned the woman and defended teacher Wang. One parent said, "Since your family is so wealthy and you detest teacher Wang for not having a car, why don't you buy him a car?" The parent continued, "You are concerned that the teacher riding a bike will affect your child's education, right? Aren't you willing to take out such a small amount of money from your pocket?